In this morning yoga flow, we'll be energizing the entire body and help relieve any stiffness that might have built up overnight sleeping. I'm Irene, sharing with you yoga, mindfulness, and breathing practices. If you're ready, just roll out your mat and let's get started. So we'll be practicing together for around 15 minutes. And I really encourage you to make the practice your own and adapt it to your needs when necessary. So we're going to begin in a child's pose. So you can just find your way with your knees around mat's width apart, big toes together, hips are sinking down, and then the arms can be reaching out in front. If you have the space, just allow the head to drop down into your mat. Just take a few slow, steady breaths. And you might just start on the inhale to creep the arms a little more forward, so you're creating space in your spine. And on the exhale, seeing if you can sink the weight of your hips down more towards your heels. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then slowly, when you're ready from here, you can start to come up into your hands and knees. So we're going to move from here to some cat and cow movements with the spine. If knees are a little sensitive, feel free to place some sort of towel or blanket under your knees. Now spread the fingers wide, grounding through the palms. And on the inhale, start to arch the spine at the same time, opening the chest. And on the exhale, rounding the spine and tucking the chin down into the chest. Inhale again, opening through the shoulders as you arch the back. And exhale, rounding and seeing if you can draw the belly in towards the spine. Doing this a couple more times. Inhale, opening the chest and shoulders. Exhale, coming to the opposite movement and rounding. And these last couple of times, maybe just moving the pace of your breath. Making the movements as small or as big as you like here. And then coming gradually back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to reach the right leg back behind. And then lifting from here the right foot up towards the ceiling. And at the same time, again, working on arching the spine. Now exhale, draw the right knee into the chest, rounding the spine. And on the inhale, lifting the foot back up and arching the spine. Doing this a couple more times, moving with your breath. Keeping especially the index finger and the thumb grounded. Left foot stays heavy, left knee is heavy. One more time on the inhale, lift the right foot up. And then exhale, draw the knee into the chest, stepping the foot forward between the hands. Hips can sink a little and we'll just come up into this low lunge here, Anjaneyasana. So hands can stay on the hips if you like, and you might just sink a little bit the weight forward and a little bit the weight back. So just doing this a couple of times from side to side. You might find that your hip flexor is a little tight here, especially if you are doing this straight after getting up in the morning, where the body does tend to be a little colder and stiffer. And then the next time that you sink forward with the hips, at the same time you can start, if you like, to reach the arms up. And we'll just pause here a little more, breathing into the pose. So you're grounding through the right big toe, top of the left foot. And sink a little the shoulders down as you lift up through the fingertips. Exhale, now lower the hands down, framing your right foot, shifting the hips back, and if you like here, you can lift the right toes. If it's not comfortable to straighten the right leg here, you can keep a little bend in the knee. So we're drawing the hips back, and then inhale, hips come forward, and once more we reach the arms up and over the head. Doing this a couple more times. So exhale, lower hands down, shift the weight of the hips back, right toes can lift. And inhaling again, coming forward and reaching up through the arms. Doing this one more time. Exhale, lower hands down, shift the weight of the hips back, right toes can lift. Inhale, last time, drawing the weight forward, arms lifting up, pausing a moment here. And then on the exhale, lower hands down and coming back towards your hands and knees. Gazing down, shifting the hips from side to side. Maybe tuning into the differences between the right side and the left side. And then from here, we're going to draw the left leg back, lifting the left toes, this time up to the ceiling as you arch the spine. And exhale, knee comes into the chest, rounding the spine. Inhale, lifting again the left leg up. And exhale, knee comes into the chest, rounding. And just doing this a couple more times with your breath. If you prefer to make the movement smaller, of course, feel free to do so. The next time you draw the knee into the chest, step the foot forward between the hands. Hands can come up to the hips as you come up with the upper body, and we'll again just ease a little forward and back with the hips. So the movement can be pretty small here. So you're just changing that balance point as you lean forward and back. And then the next time you sink forward into the hips, you can start to reach both arms up and overhead on your inhale. And just take a couple of more breaths here with your right hip flexor sinking forward. Exhale, now lower the hands down, frame your left foot, shift the weight of the hips back. Again, if it's comfortable, left leg can straighten. If you need, keep that slight bend in the knee. And then inhale, again, weight comes forward as you lift up through the arms. Exhale, hands come down, shifting from here the weight of the hips back. And inhaling, coming forward again, fingertips lift up towards the ceiling. Last time, exhale, lower hands down, shift the hips back. Pausing maybe a moment, just stretching the belly of the left thigh. And then coming forward on your inhale, pausing here, sink your right hip maybe a little more forward. Exhale, hands coming down. Drawing your left knee back, so you're coming back to the hands and knees. And then this time we're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, and coming into a downward dog. So if you need here, there's always the option to keep the heels lifted and knees a little bent. It might feel nice to maybe bend one leg straight in the opposite leg and then just alternate this a few times. This is really nice to stretch the back of the calves, move a little into the hamstrings. Always keeping steadily with your breath. And then straightening from here, both legs, just pausing for a moment in your downward dog. And then on the next inhale, you can slowly walk the feet forward, coming towards the front of the mat. Opening from here, the chest halfway up again. Hands can lift if you like here. Exhale, slowly fold forward and drop the weight of the head down. Inhaling, arms come up and over the head as you gaze up. And exhale, lowering the hands down in front of the heart. Using the next inhale to reach the arms up and over, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, slowly bending the knees if you need here. Folding all the way down. On the inhale, now open the chest halfway up, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, folding back forward, bending the knees if you need. Inhale, arms come up and over the head as you gaze up. And exhale, lower hands down in front of the heart. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale again, arms come up and over as you gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, slowly leaning into the toes as you fold. Inhaling, opening the chest halfway up. And exhale, folding back forward over the legs. Inhale, now reach the hands far away as you lift them up and gaze up. Exhale, lower hands down in front of the heart. Doing this one last time. Inhaling, arms reach high, looking up. Exhale, fold forward. Keep the belly drawing in as you fold all the way down. Inhaling, now opening the chest halfway up. Exhale, folding back forward over the legs. Inhaling, reaching the arms up and over as you gaze up. And exhale, lower hands down in front of the heart. From here, we're going to step the feet a little wider. So you can have the feet slightly out and the heels in. Inhale, reaching the arms up and over, palms come together. Now exhale as you lower the hands in front of the heart. See if you can sink the weight of the hips down. Inhale, press into the feet as you come up, reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, slowly sinking back down. Doing this a few more times, reaching up high on your inhale. Exhale, slowly sinking down with your hips. Doing this a couple more times, moving with your breath. Each time maybe sinking a little lower as that feels comfortable. And as you start to sink lower, you might find you need to engage a little bit more the legs to lift all the way back up again. And then one last time, sinking down with the hips. Pausing here and just hanging out. If it doesn't feel comfortable to be all the way down in this deep squat, you can have the hips a bit above the knees instead. So just see what works for you. Staying here for one more breath. And then if you're a bit lower, you can just lift all the way back up, come up to standing on your inhale. Exhale, lower hands down, and this time keep the legs long. Now from here, we're going to step the feet about hip distance apart, folding forward from the hips. And then you can start to fold a little deeper, maybe holding the ankles if it's comfortable. Bend the knees slightly if you need and just come to this forward fold. Relaxing the weight of the head down. Relaxing your shoulders. And then we'll press the hands down into the ground, keeping the right foot forward, left foot comes back. Left knee stays lifted here, and on the inhale, start to reach your right arm up, twisting to the right and gazing to that right arm. Allow your left heel to draw back, so keeping the left leg nice and active. And then exhale, lower the right hand down. From here, stepping into your plank pose, lower the knees, chin and chest, so coming down onto the belly. Inhaling, coming up into your cobra. And exhale, from here we'll come back into a child's pose. So big toes are together, knees are apart. Rest the forehead on the mat. Slowing the breath down. Staying here one more breath. And then slowly coming up onto your hands and knees, Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, coming up into your downward dog. Taking a moment to stretch in the downward dog. And then walking both feet forward on the inhale, so you're coming towards the front of the mat. Opening the chest halfway up. And then we're going to immediately come back onto the other side, so you can take a big step back with your right foot. Adjust that left leg if you need. Right hand stays heavy, twisting to the left, reaching that left arm up. Great. Allow the crown of the head to reach towards the front of the mat, right heel to draw back. Staying one more breath. Exhale, lower left hand down, stepping back into your plank pose, finding a nice strong plank. And then exhale, drop the knees, drop the chin and chest. Inhaling, coming forward towards your cobra pose. And exhaling from here, coming back to the child's pose again. Softening and slowing your breath. Relaxing the muscles around your face. And then you can slowly walk the hands up towards you. Just cross the legs at the ankles, drop the hips down. And from here, you can just extend the legs out in front. So we're going to, from here, bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. We're going to come to a wide Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. So hands can come to the insides of the feet. And then you can start to slowly fold forward from the hips. So the spine can round a little here. If the head is far from the feet, you're just letting it hang. If you do have some sort of cushion you want to place under the head for it to relax, that's absolutely fine. We're just relaxing and sinking down now. And coming back to your slow and steady breath. So we're going to stay here another 5 rounds of breath. Keeping as best as you can your mind focused on watching your breath. Staying for one more breath. And then when you're ready, just slowly rolling up and coming back into a seated position. So I hope you feel open. I hope you feel energized for the rest of your day if you're about to start your day. If you're doing this at another time, just know that not all of us are morning people. Everyone has a different schedule. So it's always about finding the place in your day that works best for you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be first thing in the morning. If you like this video and you're looking for other ones that I've got that are a bit similar, you might like the yoga for back pain. It's focused on twisting and spinal movements. You don't need back pain to do the video, but it will help relieve tension built up from sitting throughout the day. You could also try maybe one of the breathing exercises I've got, like the Ujjayi breath, or just take a look for yourself and see what tickles your fancy. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you got on, and if there are other sort of yoga practices or mindfulness breathing that you're interested in. Always curious to hear. And I'll see you in the next video.